nothing like fresh, homemade, crisp croissants, and I'm sharing all of my best tips with you that I learned directly from a chef in the heart of Paris, and I'm craving some croissants, so let's get started. We'll start by making the dough, and I find it's easiest just to weigh all of the ingredients right into the bowl of the stand mixer. I'm using all-purpose flour, some sugar, salt, and instant yeast. Whisk together your dry ingredients, then add cold water. You'll also need some cold milk and 3 tablespoons of softened unsalted butter. Set the bowl on your stand mixer and fit it with the dough hook attachment. Now mix on speed 2 for about 3 to 4 minutes or until the dough forms a smooth ball. Scrape down the bowl halfway if needed, and when it's ready, the dough will be soft and not sticky to the touch. It also should not be sticking to the sides of the bowl. You can let the dough rise right in the mixing bowl, but I'm going to transfer it to a glass dish so you can see the progress. Cover with plastic wrap and let that rise for about 1 to 2 hours at room temperature. When it's done, it should nearly double in size. Cover a cutting board with plastic wrap. Now transfer your puffy dough over the top and massage that into a 10.5-inch square. I love working with this dough. It is so soft and easy to work with. It actually makes really good cinnamon rolls if you wanted to go that direction. Once you have your 10.5-inch square, cover that with plastic wrap and refrigerate for 1 to 2 hours or until the dough is chilled. Next, we're gonna make the butter layer, and I highly recommend using a European style butter for this, and it definitely should be cold. Start by cutting the butter lengthwise into 1/2-inch thick slabs. Now you'll need 2 sheets of parchment paper or wax paper if you prefer. Lay the butter slabs out side by side to form about a 5-inch square. Cover with the second sheet of paper and use a rolling pin to pound the butter to a 7.5-inch square. Trim the butter and shape it as needed to get the correct size. Because cold butter is super important for croissants, we're going to refrigerate that butter layer until our dough is ready. Once the dough and butter have chilled, take them out of the refrigerator and unwrap. Now we start the process of laminating the dough, which is basically folding the butter into the dough. We'll need to encase the butter. Set it in a diamond shape over your dough square. Gently stretch out the edges of dough and fold them into the center. Now press the edges together to fully encase and seal the butter inside, and this is super important so the butter doesn't escape. Now set the dough on a well-floured surface and lightly flour the top of the dough. To ensure that the butter spreads out evenly, tap over the surface of the dough to elongate it first with the rolling pin. Once you have a nice rectangle formed, then you can start rolling out the dough to an even 8 by 24 inches. Try to keep those edges straight. I do find it's helpful to tighten in those edges to keep them straight with a clean ruler. Fold the dough into thirds, brushing off any excess flour. Cover with plastic wrap and freeze for 20 minutes, or you can refrigerate for 1 hour. The freezer is a great time-saving technique for croissants, but set a timer so you don't forget it's in there. Take the dough out of the freezer and we're gonna do turn number 2. You're gonna roll this time in the direction of the 2 open ends and tap again with your rolling pin to loosen up the dough and to help spread the butter properly without squishing it. Roll that out to 8 by 24 inches, make sure the edges are even, then fold it again into thirds. Cover and freeze that for 20 minutes or refrigerate for an hour. Now we're gonna do our third and final turn. Once again, roll to 8 by 24 inches, fold in thirds, then cover completely in plastic wrap. Now refrigerate the dough overnight or up to 2 days, and you can even freeze it if you need to. I do have a dough that has been rising in the refrigerator overnight, so we're gonna keep going. The dough will look puffed. Unwrap it onto a floured surface. Now press along the length of the dough with your rolling pin to start to widen and wake it up. Then roll the dough into a long and narrow strip that's 8 inches wide by 44 inches long, dusting with flour on top and making sure it's not sticking to the counter. Trim off the uneven edges to get you a 40-inch long strip of dough. Now mark off the top of the dough every 5 inches. On the bottom of the dough, make the first mark 2.5 inches in, then continue to mark every 5 inches so you end up with a mark in the center of the top 2 marks. Use a ruler and a pizza cutter to connect the marks on top and bottom, and you should end up with about 15 triangles. To roll each croissant, give the triangles a little tug, expanding them to about 10 inches in length. Use a knife to cut a 1/2 inch slit at the bottom of each triangle. Start by rolling the 2 flaps on the bottom and tightly roll into a croissant. And because I hate to waste croissant dough, I do like to make little tiny croissants with the scraps. Set the croissants on 2 parchment-lined baking sheets, keeping them evenly spaced, since they will puff up in the oven. Now you'll need to make the egg wash. In a mixing bowl, combine 1 egg and 1 egg yolk, along with a pinch of salt. Thoroughly beat that together with a fork. Now use a pastry brush to brush the egg wash over the croissants. Make sure you thoroughly cover the tops and sides. Refrigerate the leftover egg wash because you'll need it for later. Then let those croissants rest at room temperature to proof, uncovered, for 1 to 2 hours. They should be noticeably larger but not quite doubled in size. They'll also wobble when you give the pan a jolt, and they'll feel marshmallow soft when you poke them. And you'll be able to see the croissant layers on the sides. Thoroughly brush the croissants with the remaining egg wash because it helps form that beautiful color on top. Then bake in the top and bottom thirds of the oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes. Then rotate the pans and bake for another 8 to 10 minutes or until the croissants are a deep golden brown. When they're done, transfer them to a wire rack to cool to room temperature. I did this. I mean, you make a batch of croissants and you can't help but feeling so proud of yourself. You guys will see. But these look amazing and I can't wait to dig into them. Normally you would want them to cool down to room temperature and not dig into them while they're warm because it does help to set the layers inside, which I'll show you. But oh my goodness, these smell good and oh, I can't wait. And look at these cute little baby ones. Look at these babies. I mean, how can you throw that away, right? Like someone's gonna totally love those little croissants. Husbands will eat the little ones. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I'm gonna dig in. I don't care if they're hot. I don't care, I don't even care. I've waited a long time for these. Okay, dun, 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 dun. Okay, this one looks generous. And I love how when you bite into them, there's like, you go through this layer of caramelized crisp outside into this super soft, airy, I mean, it's hard to describe a fresh croissant. When I tried fresh croissants in Paris, next level amazing. And you get that experience when you make them from scratch because they are so fresh. And these also reheat really well. They freeze really well. I've got 2 batches currently in my freezer. I can't look at this any longer. I just gotta eat it. I gotta go for it. But oh, look at this. Again, wait till they cool down, but look at this, like just breaking through the layers. Oh, yummy, 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 yummy. So soft, it's ridiculous. Oh, oh, that hits the spot every single time. I love the different textures in here, the layers, the flavor is so good. This tastes like what I remember in Paris with their French croissants. This takes me back to Paris. Oui, oui. My accent is terrible. I would love to go back one day and eat more croissants that I didn't have to make myself. I want to cut into one of these and show you the layers. Try these, you guys will love them. Like I said, once they're cooled to room temperature, they freeze really, really well. I just put them in freezer zip bags, put them away until I need them. They thaw fast, and then if you reheat them in the air fryer, that top part gets crisp again, and oh, it's such an experience. It literally tastes just like fresh if you freeze them as soon as they cool. Try these, you will love them. It's a fun experience, and you're gonna feel like a baking ninja when you're done. If you're looking for more dessert recipes or breakfast, because I think this could be both, maybe more of a breakfast. We have an excellent breakfast chapter in our cookbook. If you haven't already gotten your hands on it, I will link to this. Let me know what baking projects you want me to conquer next, because feeling pretty awesome right now, I gotta admit. Also, let me know where you spotted Sharky, and we will see you on the next episode of Natasha's Kitchen. Over and out. That's not even, what's the royal wave? Okay, bye now. I'm gonna go get myself coffee number 2 and eat the rest of this yummy croissant.